Hello YouTubers, this is Zero. I thought I'd like to talk about the Mandela effect, flat earth, and reality and how it can get really dark and what it all means to me anyway and how it comes together because believe it or not, there is a common link in all of this. Okay, when I first heard about flat earth, well, when I first heard about it, it was actually many years ago, but I didn't give it much thought at all. But what I looked at was back in, I think it was 2003, was basically the model that they're presenting today. But all this flat earth talk started getting big somewhere shortly after the last winter solstice in December of 14. I mean, yeah, people were talking about it before that, but it started getting really big. And in my view, that is when the last shift was the shift that they're calling the Mandela effect. Now, after the Mandela effect, when you remember back in your own mind's eye of history, there are things that differ from what is actually written. And in some cases, what you can actually see in physical reality. But because it has shifted and it has all changed in a lot of ways, the only place that history exists anymore is inside your memory. It's inside your own head, and in a lot of ways, I think that was done deliberately to help us understand that our mind is a creation in itself, our own consciousness. And that's just a little clue. Now, after the last shift, I think another thing that happened is I believe there has been a lot of souls removed from this reality. And let me explain. When a biological body does not have a soul, that doesn't mean that it can't exist, it can't go on. It can most certainly do that. All you need to do is download a program into it and it'll play that program out. And it is playing that program out right now in front of us. So we can get to the next stage. In other words, what's left here in this reality is left here for us. So we can continue. And there will be another shift, and it'll be a bigger shift. And a lot of people are going to freak out. Okay? And a lot of people right now think that flat earth is the answer and it's going to save us all. But that's simply not true. Flat earth is not going to save us all, not at least not everybody we see here around us, because a lot of the people that are still here the way you think they were, they're not. It's like the lights are on but nobody's home, and there's going to be more of that coming up. So what you understand now is what's going to take you to the next stage. And if you're not aboard on flat earth, then you're probably not going to make it to the next stage. So you can say goodbye to those people right now, because I'm telling you, they will not be here any longer in a spiritual sense, like a lot of people aren't now. Okay, so we covered that part. Okay, people can go on living, or at least continue through the program as long as something's downloaded into them, into their biological body without a soul. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is death and the the way that they push it upon us, like if you look at a lot of science fiction shows, and this is one thing I never understood before Flat Earth, especially in space science fiction shows, they're not only just a deception, it goes way, way far beyond that. They are actually robbing your imagination. They're hijacking it, they're destroying it, changing it to something else. So your own imagination is no longer yours. And in simple deceptions, like when they show someone dying and they bring them back, and it's all kind of like, now he understands that there's darkness and he has to make the most of his life because when you die, there's nothing there. Now, I used to just think that that was a flat out deception, but it's a little more twisted than that, because even though some of us may be biological machines walking around with a computer program in our heads and we are no longer souls, that is, in fact, what your fate is when you die. Okay? But if you're going to make it to the end of this video, it's very likely that that has not happened to you, and you're one of the people that are going to make it to the next level. Okay? It's like right through the middle of our existence shoots this long stem. I think some people call it the black hole sun, but to describe it on an easier term, maybe it's like a one of those old-fashioned turntable stems where they drop the records down. Okay, well, when the next record drops down, everybody that's here now isn't going to be on the next record. Okay, everything will change a little bit. There may still be relatively the same amount of people, but there's going to be few of us here as spirit and soul. Now, where all these souls and spirits are going to, I really don't know. I haven't got a clue, and I don't pretend to. I say it's a lot like a computer program, and let me reiterate, not a computer program, like a computer program. Calling it a computer program is the best analogy I could think of to describe something that I'm not able to comprehend. If I could comprehend what this construct was, I'd probably ascend and I'd wind up with my own little star and be able to play this world game on my own. But that clearly hasn't happened yet. So where this is all leading and what exactly is going to happen and what the next shift will bring, I don't know, but I'm trying to mentally prepare myself for it anyway, and I hope you will too. And I hope you don't think this video is crazy, but this is pretty much all I have to say in it. I will make more videos later to better describe this. This is probably going to seem a little disjointed to a lot of people, but this is actually a lot of thoughts coming together in my head at once, and it's a little bit difficult to get out. Okay? Thank you.
They're free now.
I'm not sure, exactly. But this world is ours now. It's what we make of it.